Hey everybody, welcome to. I almost called it another comic, another podcast. I've been doing those lately. No, this is your average guy opinion. I'm your average guy, John Corelli. This is episode 85. I want to talk about pain. Pain. We all go through it. We all have to deal with it in different ways. Some of us have had to deal with way more than others. And I just kind of want to talk about the stuff I've gone through in my life. Most of it's been pretty easy. I feel like I'm kind of blessed in a sense. I mean, I know it hasn't been perfect and smooth the entire way, but I've had back pain like all week, and that's what made me think about, man, I'm so lucky I don't have chronic pain. I don't know what it's one of those old man ones where I'm 53, and I shoveled for the blizzard 2 weeks ago. Shoveled like half. I did probably well over half of this 150 foot by 10-foot driveway at my parents' house. My parents helped to their credit. I mean, my stepdad's 80 and my mom's 73, and my kids helped a little bit too. And they're just lazy. And I should have done a better job with them. So, what do we got? We got me talking about pain, but yeah, my back didn't hurt. My shoulder was killing me. I mean, because you're just doing this, right? And so that was rough for like a few days, and then the vaccines have really kind of hurt me. They've just lasted way longer than I thought they should, like 3, 4 days with arm pain. And then that second day, I always just get, I think I talked about that in one of my last episodes where just get super emotional. And it was kind of cool though, because I also mentioned that in that special where I get a little empathetic too. So it was interesting. Just almost like I was basically like I was high. I mean, there's stuff coursing through your body. It's no different. It's just a virus coursing through your body instead of THC or Coke or meth or alcohol or whatever active ingredients are in those things that make you go a little crazy. So, but yeah, back to pain. I haven't had to deal with too much. I've been really lucky. As you can see from my nose, that's gone through a lot. I mean, that thing, I don't know if it was ever technically broken, but man, I played a lot of sports as a kid. I didn't get into too many fights, but man, this nose has just been it's taken it, man. I don't know if you can see this. It's very old. There's a scar across here. So I started this early, the nose problems. I was like 2.5. My mom said, in New York, most of the playgrounds are asphalt. They're probably doing more wood chips and gravel now, but back in the 70s when I was a baby, yeah, this is actually maybe even 69, 70. I'm toddling along, and they had what they call landing pads, big black, thick 1.5 inch rubber pads, but there's a slope to them where to take it to the asphalt. And I tripped on that and went boonk right into the bottom of a slide and just gashed my nose open. I got, I don't know, 3, 5 stitches. So I started my stitch career early. I've got some on my. This one's from a fight, like in ninth grade. I hit a kid and hit his tooth, and it just split the knuckle right wide open. So kids stay out of fights. I got another one. It's really long. It's hard to see. You probably, yeah, there it is. That's pretty good. That's 15. That was a big one. And I also got these five. I don't know if you can see that or if I can even see it anymore, but there's another five right there. I was climbing a fence, um, a chain link. It was high school, and we had a substitute gym teacher. And we were going out to play softball. And we had to usually the regular gym teacher, Mr. Blank, who was great. We had to, he had the keys. He unlocked it. We went and played softball. Boom, boom, boom. This guy didn't have the keys because he was a sub, so he said, "We'll just climb the fence." And it was 1984. Who gave a shit, right? So we all climbed the fence, and going in, no problems. And then going out, I got my gym shirt caught because back in those days it was a double shirt. It was like two regular T-shirts kind of sewn together, and one was yellow and the other was like grayish white, and you could flip it. You could just invert it for when you guys played team sports, so you could differentiate. and it got caught on there. I was just hanging there, and I just tried to push off like a pole vaulter. I didn't clear my hands, and the chain links, that little cross that sometimes they bend them down, sometimes they don't. They're like fucking God. They're like skewers, and it just gashed this right wide open, just split it, bleeding all over the place. So yeah, 15 here, 5 here. No lawsuit because we didn't do that back then. Although honestly, I think if the medical bills, like if we weren't covered, I think we could have sued them and at least gotten that paid for. Um, I remember I was freaked out because I could just see muscle, and I'm just like, ah. And so I just took my hand and just slammed it into my stomach to stop the bleeding and ran to the clinic. And the nurse freaked out because I took my hand away and she saw this big thing of blood on my belly, and she's like, oh my god, she thought I'd been stabbed. So that was okay. Maybe we'll just do physical pain today and do mental and emotional, because I'm already 5.5 minutes in, and yeah, I still got some stuff to talk about. Body's been around the block a few times. You probably noticed my teeth are crooked a little bit, not too bad. Um, I've I had this tooth back here. I bit down on a chicken sandwich back like 20 years ago when I lived in Cleveland, and there was a bone in a supposedly boneless uh, fillet. It was something I cooked at home. I should have noticed it, and it just wedged right between the teeth. I could feel it. I had to pull it out with pliers. It was that wedged in, and so that's affected the rest of the teeth. But I had to get a crown on that years and years later. I mean, because once I pulled the bone out, it was fine. At least it felt fine. But then, like 10 years later, guys, like, yeah, it's probably something you'll never remember. But there's a definite crack in that tooth, and we have to put a crown on it. At the bottom, it's okay, but the top, it's kind of trashed. And I was like, no, I totally remember that. I totally remember biting down on that chicken sandwich and just freaking out. But like I said, I've never broken a bone. I've been very lucky with that. My dipshit friend ran over my right foot. Um, I was like, oh God, and I think we were like 25. It's like 1992. We're coming out of work, and he's going to drive everybody home, but he's got a bunch of shit in the back of his car. And so I'm like, okay, well, and he even knew. He's like, oh, yeah, you're going to have to put that in the back. I was like, that's fine. It was like some sort of station wagon, and I'm throwing the stuff back, and he just jumps in and takes off before I'm not even in the car. He runs over my right foot, and that's been like the last 5, 10 years. That's been a pain, and it's probably arthritic. It was probably a hairline fracture that I kind of shook off at the time because it just felt like somebody had stomped on my foot really hard. Didn't really hurt much more than a day after that, and then years later when I'm going for a run, I can feel it. Now I have flat feet already. The right foot is flatter now. And the reason I'm laughing, I'll tell you in a second. The right foot is more flat than the left, so flat that sometimes, like on a linoleum floor, it'll stick and make a suction cup sound. So, yeah, ladies, ooh, you like that? It's hot, huh? So yeah, once in a while, right off the floor, that's like, yeah. Thanks, Andy. That's my friend Andy Barker who ran over my foot back like nearly 30 years ago. And my knees are kind of garbage, partially from sports, partially from carrying too much weight, partially from genetics because my dad's knees and my mom's knees are both not very good. I got a bulging disc, I think. Man, the list is piling up more than I thought it would. I got to get this checked out. I thought it was just like a muscular thing, but I can feel that like there's some pain going on there. It hasn't been a lot, but it's been enough for me to think I need to go to the doctor and check it out and hope that it's an easy fix. I've only been in the hospital 3 times, like one per decade, and that's what I'm hoping. I hope that's the average. Like if I only have to end up like for overnight stays in the hospital once per decade in my adult life, I'm happy. When I was 27, I had to get my appendix taken out. Kind of sucked. Of course it did. In the like about in my 30s, when I was like 37, I had to have my adenoids taken out, my tonsils, because they were never removed when I was a kid. Never had an issue with it. And then in my 40s, about 5 years ago in 2016, I got a really really bad abscess right near my groin. It'll get a little personal, but here's what happened. I sometimes shave down there, not because I'm a porn star or anything, but sometimes as an Italian man, you just got to take care of stuff down there. It's like, Jesus, I can't even see my penis anymore. So you shave it, and I shaved, and I went all the way down to the skin one time. I was just tired of shaving it every month or so. So I shaved it, and an ingrown hair went down there, and I tried to get it out with tweezers, and I probably didn't clean the tweezers properly. It got infected, and it just went fucking gangbusters and disgusting. I ended up in the hospital for that. So there's a nice gross one to end with. There's physical pain, but like I said, still not bad. I think of what people go through every day. People with chronic pain, people that have, that are crippled and have just, have to limp or missing a limb, or there's a lot of pain that people deal with every day. And so Just wanted to address that. We'll go to maybe physical and mental pain on my next episode. Thanks for tuning in, guys, and we'll see you next time. Thanks.